out hints about Maxx Crosby and Howie Roseman might have just secured his first round pick. Dallas still stinks. You by the way, Cake Dig back here. I get the feeling Howie Roseman is sitting back, just ready to strike. He is in potentially having multiple things start to go his way at the right time, if you want to call it going his way, because I'm not so sure of that. But if A.J. Brown has to get traded, guess what? The Eagles and what they want compensation-wise, it just got a lot more realistic. And is Lane Johnson throwing out hints or what? Everybody sending me DM saying, did you see what Lane posted? And it really wasn't nothing. However, Maxx Crosby's price may have just come down, and that may open up the door to a move if the Eagles decide to go that way. There is a lot going on, man. Things are about to get crazy. The free agent frenzy chaos is taking off right now. We are seeing trades go down. We are seeing multiple things happen. And I think things are going to come together really quick, one way or the other for A.J. Brown, which I'm glad. I'm so sick, and I'm sorry that we have to talk about this all the time. But it's like a giant shadow hanging over our heads or over us, and there's nothing really we can't do about it until this thing is resolved. But before we get into all that, I'm going to take a little break, and I want to talk about this. Will BLANKENSHIP be back? That's a great question, because most people think he's gone. I think, and I thought maybe there was a chance that it could be possible. Of course, Dallas thinks they got him. Dallas thinks they've got everybody. They think that they automatically get anybody that they want. But here's a projection for BLANKENSHIP and his contract and what he's expected to get. The projection is the Philadelphia Pound Eagles safety BLANKENSHIP is projected to sign about a 3-year, $30 million deal this offseason. BLANKENSHIP is 27 years old, a champion and a consistent starter. The Cowboys, Panthers, Bengals, Jets, and Rams will have interest. If I was BLANKENSHIP, I'd go to the Rams before any of those other teams. But I said this. I thought BLANKENSHIP was around $8 or $9 million. It's looking like about $10 million is what they're expecting him to get. I actually think that you should make a play for him if you could get him for under 10. Now, he could get way more than that, because especially if teams are bidding, I don't think he's worth top 10 safety money. I think he's a decent starter who's a great player in terms of character, leadership, all those things he does good. But I think he's a solid starter. I don't think he's a Pro Bowler. And, somebody's probably going to overpay, and it's not going to be the Eagles. But that's what we're looking for with him in terms of what he's going to get. Now, there was a big trade today, and this trade affects the Eagles and the A.J. Brown situation, okay? I have to apologize to those out there that said, that I said the Eagles will never get a first-round pick for A.J. Brown. He's too old, and he costs too much money. It won't happen. It won't happen. It looks like now, if the Eagles pull the trigger, which I think it's 50-50 now. It just seems like things are trending that way. But I would have told you yesterday, the day before, I would have told you, no, I don't think it's going to happen. I think Howie Roseman set a high market for A.J. Brown on purpose so that teams couldn't meet that market, so they don't have to trade him. However, now with the deal that just happened with DJ Moore, you got to wonder if the Eagles aren't going to get what he initially was asking for. Tom Pelissero wrote this: done deal. The Bills are sending a 2026 second-round pick to the Bears for wide receiver DJ Moore and a 5th-round pick in 2026. a pick swap that gives Chicago extra draft ammo and Buffalo a new top wide receiver. Now, I like DJ Moore. He's good. I think he's got talent. He's not A.J. Brown. He's not as good as A.J. Brown. And all of a sudden, they're getting a second-round pick for him. To me, that's really interesting. And what that tells me is it tells me that the Eagles can get a first-round pick for A.J. Brown. They could actually get what they're asking for, okay? Ari Meroff wrote this. The Pound Bears are getting a second-round pick, number 60 for DJ Moore. This will make the Eagles' stance for a first in the package for Brown even stronger. Now, Buffalo is taking on $40 million in guarantees with Moore's contract, a hefty price. So, yes, the Eagles, if they trade A.J. Brown, there's no reason why they can't get a first-round pick. Now, if you do what I say and say, no, we'll take, what? The Eagles, let's say they're asking what? For a first and a fifth, let's say, first and a fourth. We'll say first and a fifth. I say this, 2026 fifth-round pick, 2027 first-round pick. I wonder, and I'm not saying I know, but I wonder if being that it's a year out, a year removed from the first-round pick, if that's easier for a team to do. Because I'm interested in the 2027 first-round pick, not a 2026 first-round pick. However, if we're going to play this game where the Eagles get that first-round pick from, let's say, the Patriots, for example, and then you have a situation where Jalen Phillips does not sign, could the Eagles all of a sudden be in the market for Maxx Crosby, who I almost, I might as well say he's a Dallas Cowboy, because from everything I'm hearing from Cowboy fans, he deserves to go there too. He's there, and Kobe's there, Blankenship's there, Tom Brady, his son, his grandkid 100 years from now is there, whatever, But Jordan Schultz, my man, wrote this. Shout out to Jordan Schultz. He wrote, sources, teams in the trade market have gotten the sense that the Pound Raiders are more open to the idea of trading Maxx Crosby, and a situation that is only going to intensify. Okay? It sounds like he could possibly get moved. Now, they said the asking price was 2 first-round picks. I'm not sure that they'll get that, but they'll get something. And it was very interesting because, shout out to the Godfather, but he put out this little clip, AI clip of Crosby in an Eagles uniform, and Lane Johnson responded with the old big eyes, ooh, Maxx Crosby. He wrote, at Maxx Crosby. Is Lane hinting at something? Does he know something? Does he know that the Eagles are working or trying to get Maxx Crosby? Could something be there? Who knows? Who knows? This time of year, you look for anything that would give you a possible sense of something. As far as Maxx Crosby, just to reiterate what I've said before about Crosby, I think he's an upgrade over Jalen Phillips. I think that if you put him with Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, my gosh, that's a hell of a defensive line. Now, he does have injuries. I think he's come back from, I think it was a meniscus tear or something like that. He'll be back, I think during the season. But the question is would the Eagles do it? You're going to have, if you trade A.J. Brown, 2 first-round picks. So you could trade one of those first-round picks. And one of the things that I've noticed with the Eagles in the past, okay, and this is just something I've noticed, is that when the Eagles have 2 first-round picks, they like to draft one of those picks, and they like to trade for another player. Recent examples that I can remember is Jason Peters. They had 2 first-round picks. They traded the Bills a first for Jason Peters. They brought him in, if you guys remember, and then A.J. Brown. They had 2 first-round picks, and they traded one of those first-round picks for A.J. Brown. If the Eagles were to move A.J. Brown and get 2 first-round picks, and this is purely speculation, but if they were to move 2 first-round picks, I would say the chances are more likely than not the Eagles will go out and they will trade one of those first round picks for an established player. This is what seems like they like to do. So if the Eagles do trade A.J. Brown, which is still a question, I don't know. I honestly don't know. 50%, 60%. I thought it was more likely he would stay, but the hype just won't die. So I'll say this. The Eagles historically seems like when they have 2 first-round picks, they want to trade for an established player with one of those picks. I personally would just keep the 2026 first. I mean, I would make it a 2027 first-round pick, and then I would trade my 2026 first-round pick to a team in the second round early for a 2027 first-round pick, and I would have all of a sudden 3 first-round picks heading into a draft that's supposed to be very, very deep a year later, something like that. But we'll see. I think if the Eagles move on from Brown, I think that Maxx Crosby is in play, unless they sign Jalen Phillips. Then I'll say this. I'll say they're going to have 2 first-round picks. I think they're probably going to trade for an established player with one of those. It's getting crazy out there. And this is only the beginning. And I will be pumping these things out like Mark Holmes. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision, baby. We're all just living in it. So, you know what? We're hearing this now as I just finished doing this video. Per New England Patriot Insider, discussions have heated up per source. Howie Roseman is pushing for a first-round pick, but New England isn't biting, viewing it as an unfair price for a player nearing 30. Deal breaker or room to negotiate. After DJ Moore got traded like we just talked about, guess what? Yeah, you're going to have to give the Eagles a first-round pick. You look at Davante Adams and what he was able to bring back to a team. Look at Tyreek Hill and what he got. No, A.J. Brown, minimum first-round pick, and then some. Denzel Washington out. That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us.